Hey guys, Scott here with a new beer dissection video. Welcome back. What I have today, depending on when you're watching this, I had a few months ago, I had ordered a New York Craft Beer Alliance, I believe is their name. They represent all the New York craft breweries in the state of New York. And they put together a 24 pack called 24 Beers for Holiday Cheer. They shipped me a big box. I'll probably have maybe some pictures. Big box with 24 beers of all great beers from New York Craft Brewing. Now, I may not do videos for all 24 beers. I've done a few at least at the time of this video, but take a look for those if you'd like to see them. But they're anywhere from, I'm here on Long Island. There's breweries right here from Long Island, downstate New York, Westchester, all the way to Buffalo, even up to the Adirondacks. So what I have today, and what they do is it's 24 beers for cheers. They give you this nice little flyer, a little snippet about all the beers, they show you all the breweries that were involved in it. I'm going to do it again next year because all the beers have been, I think the lowest grade I've given one is like a B. But they do definitely go higher than that. What I'm doing today is Raquette River Brewing Company, their maple cream porter. They say they're using lactose as well as 5 gallons of maple syrup, local maple syrup from Trout. Where is it? I think I have it right here. Medium body porter brewed with 5 gallons of local Trout Lake maple syrup, and it contains lactose. Remember what lactose does to beer? It's not fermented by regular beer yeast, Saccharomyces cerevisiae, so it gives a sweetness as well as a full-bodied flavor. A lot of sweet stouts, cream stouts use lactose, and even some pastry stouts these days will use that. So they're using some lactose. They say this is coming in at, what did I say, 5.2% alcohol. So I jumped off screen there for a minute. And that's it. So just keep the Adirondack screen. So from Tupper Lake, I've been to Tupper Lake. It's actually, there's a nice nature center called the Wild Center up there. So this is not too far from Lake Placid, New York, and Saranac Lake, New York. All right, so this is very nice. I've never been to this brewery. Next time I'm up there, I'll definitely have to check it out. But Raquette River Brewing, their maple cream porter, okay, is for tonight's beer dissection. All right, so let's crack this bad boy open, take a look at it. Okay, and so again, it's going to probably be like many porters, but we're expecting to see some maple syrup character to it. So I got about a 1/2 inch light tan head. Looks well supportive. Kind of looks like I'm actually, as I'm sitting here, getting a whiff of maple syrup here on the nose. I don't know if they're back sweetening it. They say they're using 5 gallons. I don't know. You know, the problem with maple syrup is a lot of the yeast will eat a lot of the sugars. They will leave some of the components of the maple syrup. A lot of times it gets fermented out. So I don't know if they're back sweetening it. We'll see. But anyway, a nice mahogany, medium brown color. May look darker brown on camera, and it's pretty clear. I see a little bit of a kind of a reddish tinge at the bottom, but I can see through the beer. So it's kind of that medium brown, but looks very nice. All right, so let's take a sniff of the aroma. Yeah, so you get chocolate, you know, like typical porters. You know, toffee, darker toast. Getting a little bit of maple syrup character note on the nose, but nothing over the top. I mean, it kind of gives you that earthy, herbal kind of character to it, but definitely Maillard reaction, almost like a burnt brown sugar kind of aromatics on there. Very nice though, okay? So anyway, cheers guys. Let's take a swig of this. Oh, I should say one more thing. Like I said, chocolate, mild roast on the nose too. But anyways, cheers. Medium carbonation. Again, you kind of get that medium kind of brown sugar, caramel, taffy, light chocolate, like a milk chocolate. I'm not getting much, maple syrup on it. Like I said, maple syrup is dubious. You spend so much money on it. It's a very expensive product, but it ferments out a lot, so it only leaves behind a little bit of the character. The body, I thought it'd be a little bit fuller. because of the lactose, there's definitely some residual sweetness there, but it's quite nice. Just a little thinner than I would expect using lactose with this. But again, you get that brown sugar, Maillard reaction from like brioche bread, darker bread, even like challah bread on the malt character here. Hops is not very important here. I don't even get much hop character at all, which again, on a beer like this, I wouldn't expect too much. Maybe it's slightly herbal. Yeah, maybe some slightly herbal, but this is definitely a malt-forward beer. I mean, it's drinking very nice. A little thinner than I thought. I don't get a ton of maple on there, but again, most maple porters that I've had or anything that use maple syrup, because of the fermentation out of all the sugars, a lot of times you don't taste it much unless they're back sweeten it during packaging. But very nice, light chocolate. Not much roast to it at all, maybe light coffee. And that's it. So, I'll enjoy it. I mean, it's actually, it's quite enjoyable beer. Again, but what I would expect, though, if you're labeling it as maple syrup, maybe throw a little bit more on the packaging side of things, because there's not a lot of maple character here, or maple syrup character. Again, it's drinking a little lighter than a typical porter would be. Light coffee roast. Again, a little toffee, maybe even slightly nutty. But again, a little lighter body, a little thinner than I would expect with lactose in there, which in a way is good, because sometimes the lactose makes it a little too cloyingly sweet. But again, overall, guys, tonight's beer dissection is the Raquette River Brewing Company in Tupper Lake, New York, not too far from Saranac, New York. Saranac Lake, as well as Lake Placid. I would say it's about an hour from there, at least from Lake Placid. It's about 20 minutes from Saranac. Overall drinkability, enjoyability. I'm going to enjoy this. I'm going to give it a good, A- for drinkability, enjoyability. For porter style, and especially beers that are typically have maple syrup, I expected a little bit more maple syrup character to it. Maybe even a little residual sweetness, because you're kind of expecting it. I'd bring it down maybe to like that B range, B plus range, but still very good, very solid. Most of these beers that I've had in this pack have been really good. I just expect a little bit more, maybe a little more body to it, maybe a touch more roast, but definitely a little bit more maple character to it, since they're using 5 gallons on it. And maple syrup, as we know, as I said before, is not very cheap. But overall, guys, I would recommend it. That was just my small criticism. Expected a little bit more maple character to it. But anyway, guys, that was tonight's beer dissection. To the next beer video in general, have a great night. Take care. Bye-bye.